Hello friends, and welcome to a new video. Today I am here to share a list of things with you. So today we are going to talk about queer books that I absolutely adore. So the first one I'm going to talk about here is one written by a local author. He actually kindly gifted me a copy as I was working at the bookstore. He's one of the customers at where I work. And it is Cruisin' Future Father-in-Law by Clay Walker. This is a very taboo male-male romance in which August is engaged to a woman named Chris. And Chris's father comes into town, and all of a sudden August starts to have all sorts of feelings for Pierce that he was not expecting, and he's confused by. Pierce, who has been openly out and gay for a long time, which is why he's not still with Chris's mother, sees all the writing on the wall and decides to challenge August a bit, but he's not sure why he's so drawn to August. And it has some very sweet and tender things in it, but it's also very high steam, very high stakes feeling, and it's just really a lot of fun. I'm not going to say too much more than that here, but I would recommend checking this one out. You can check it out through Amazon, and yeah, I'm going to talk about it quite a bit because I really enjoyed myself. The second book is now out. I currently have it checked out on my Kindle. The next thing I'm going to mention here is anything in the Dark Olympus series. They are all very casually queer in the Dark Olympus series, and so I really love it for that. My most recent reread was Wicked Beauty for the Chapter 3 podcast. We've been slowly going through the whole Dark Olympus series. I'll leave that linked in the corner for you. But Katie Robert does a really good job of having casually queer characters. Wicked Beauty is Achilles, Patroclus, and Helen, which was a very interesting dynamic. It has a tournament arc in it, and I love me a good tournament arc. But the Dark Olympus series is great. I mean, all of our characters are pretty much queer in some way, so it's fantastic. The next one I'm going to mention here is the Singing Hills cycle, which is the Empress of Salt and Fortune series. I have the fourth book as an early arc. These are short novellas following Cleric Chi, who is going on their journey and gathering stories from all over. It has a bigger overarching story, but the beautiful lyrical writing is what stands out in this series. And yes, very much had a fantastic time with this one. The next one is another novella series, and that is the Monk and Robot duology. I have only read the first one, which is A Psalm for the Wild Built, but I do have A Prayer for the Crown Shy, and I'm hoping to get it read before the end of the month. Becky Chambers' writing is absolutely fantastic. I really enjoy the Monk and Robot series in particular, though. The next one I'm going to talk about here is Heaven Official's Blessing. This is probably my favorite of all the Dawn Mays that have come out. Grandmaster is a very close second, though. I am just overly attached to the characters in Heaven Official's Blessing, and we get more time with them compared to the other series, so I also think that's why they stand out. So essentially we have an angel and a demon that end up falling in love. That is the shortest description I could give of this, but it is a slow burn angsty thing that is full of tension and amazingness, and each volume is pretty episodic, meaning they kind of cover a particular point of a story and then they go on to the next one, and all along the way there. And it's fantastic. Would 10 out of 10 recommend it. The next one is not going to surprise anybody here, and that is Legends and Lattes. Legends and Lattes is the cozy fantasy queer story that we all love about an orc named Viv who decides she wants to quit adventuring and ends up opening a coffee shop instead. So it's very cozy, all about building out the coffee shop, introducing coffee to everyone in this small town, and it is seriously just so sweet and so cute. I love it so very much. The next one I'm going to talk about here is the Crescent Spell by Zoe Abrams. I'm currently in the middle of the second book in this series. The Crescent Spell is essentially a Why Choose Howl's Moving Inspired Castle story, in which our Sophie-like character ends up discovering she has magic through her connection with this group of men and how she is tied to all of them and her magic is tied to all of them. And so it's all interconnected. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing, and I would definitely recommend it. The next one is one that I don't hear as many people talking about as the first book in this little series, but that is Astrid Parker Doesn't Fail. Astrid Parker Doesn't Fail I like better than Delilah Green, but I think that's because of Jordan, which is the love interest for Astrid. Jordan could step on me and I would be perfectly fine. We'll just put it that way. But I like the dynamic here because Astrid is slowly discovering that she is not as straight as she thought she was. Jordan has been openly gay for a long time. She was married to a woman. They have since gotten divorced, and that hit Jordan really hard. And so Jordan's dealing with all of that, as well as Astrid's new and burgeoning feelings for Jordan. And she doesn't want to end up in the same situation as she did with her wife, her ex-wife, I should say. And it's just brilliant. And it's got a home makeover thing wrapped up in it where Astrid is renovating Jordan's grandmother's inn, and it's just so good. I love it so much. And the steam is great. The tension is top notch. It's definitely that opposite sides of the coin where they're kind of on opposite sides of the project at a time. So yes. And then the last one I'm going to mention here is Mafia Captive by Julia Sykes. This is one a lot of you probably have never heard of. This is one that I randomly found. It might have been through a BookBub situation. I can't remember. I might have just been looking on my own. And I got it on my Kindle and I read it and I was absolutely captivated by it. So essentially this girl thought she knew this guy that she was in love with, but she finds out he's a mafia boss. He ends up kidnapping her to keep her safe. And his longtime romantic partner and like captain of his force, you could say, all end up having a relationship together. So if you're looking for a throuple or a why choose situation, like this could definitely work for you. There is more in the series, so I do plan on continuing, but this is one that I definitely want more people to seek out and read. So just because I want to talk to more people about it more than anything. So my friends, that is my list of queer books that I love and adore. Let me know in the comments down below what some of your favorite queer reads are, because I'm always looking for some new ones to try out. If you're here just because you love me, leave me a rainbow emoji, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.
It's been raining for days now, been running like a child. Can't feel the cold, well I'm lost here with you, lost in the woods. Lost as I should.